This is urgency. When we create it, we are actually recreating the conditions of a state of raw survival. The clock is ticking and the clock is approaching. When time is running out, your body activates specific systems, where untapped rations of creativity suddenly go out. And these of course shouldn't be abused, and should be used for emergency purposes only. Like this particular example of mine. I remember when I was in a boarding school, and the teachers put 7 boys in the same room to do the homework, every single evening. And here was this boy named Barry, who would simply race through his homework so that he had time to read his precious fiction books. What a douche. And yeah, the majority of people would think that Barry had poor results because he was a rusher, a small Speedy Gonzales, who was in desperate need of intellectual stimulation and could not help himself, storming through the test and moving on to his next endeavor. Right? Wrong. Barry was actually a great student. Straight A's. Well, let's not exaggerate with this utopic story. I think he had like an A- once or something, or it's just like, damn, sometimes I feel like everyone is just like creating a story where everyone is just like straight A's and everything is going well in their life. Anyways, but how did he do it? How did he manage to always complete the test first and get a great score as well? Because as I said, Barry was intelligent, but there was something else that was differentiating him from the rest of the students. And that was that he'd perfected the skill of working fast while being focused on the task. That's right, no spitballing and paper throwing or restless whispering messages to other fellow classmates. Barry was actually a pro player. He was just doing his thing, as focused as he could, as fast as he could. Like when you're attending to a contest, you want to win the contest, but you still want to go home and just like watch cartoons or something. Or just take care of your regular hobby. This is what Barry is doing as well. And we all know that to create an impact in this day of age, one of the strategies is to produce a lot. With the vast mass of the internet, with content flying everywhere and tweets and posts being hot for only 1 minute and then burning into the atmosphere, the task of producing is becoming harder and harder. People associate speed with poor quality. They think that someone who is hasty tends to also make more mistakes when they are producing their work at a faster pace. But making and accomplishing sensational things and doing that quickly is possible. I mean, people do it all the time. And spending a little bit of time to adjust your day-to-day activities focusing on the speed of delivery can serve as a fundamental framework for your next default state of being. This is why you need to incorporate speed into your skill set. Speed of hand, speed of sound, speed of typing, of coding, of making food, of cooking and cutting, speed of hotel building. Speed matters. And this is going to be an important skill in the future of the workforce. Our history always had that crazy champion who was just like rushing into battle and finishing it, followed by a huge wave of cheering and happy drinking. And history will continue to have that, only in a less barbaric form. This is why speed programming and speed leveling exists. I mean, take a look at this guy. And there's speed chess or speed math, because in the end, time matters, and by that rule, speed matters. And speed doesn't apply to everything, and nor should it. I think that it's a skill that must be developed, polished, and then activated only when necessary, applying quick bursts for the things that can be done quickly, with time for reflection, slowing down, and rest as well. You can start by following a simple recipe and make speed the priority of a selected few things, like brain dumping or brainstorming, doodling, typing, admin work, and sending emails. Thinking is sometimes the enemy of creativity. And again, humans are highly adaptable creatures. We impose lots of barriers on ourselves and sometimes are afraid to break records because people say it cannot be done. Remember that man's 100 meters world record progression had a huge gap for a huge amount of years because people believed it could not be done. It is when Usain Bolt broke the record in 2009. I mean, 10.6 seconds? What happened there, Donald Lippincott? Speedrunners are the exact opposite of impatient. It's all about trying and retrying and experimenting, attempting to complete a particular game or task in as little time as possible. Those who patiently and methodically attempt to optimize their workflow and gameplay for the purpose of achievement. The very quality of being able to execute a speedrun requires good reflexes, good cognitive processing, and plenty of creativity and conscientiousness. And the benefits of trying to speed things up and gamifying your working experience or setting new records for yourself and goals to crush can be a very fun, interesting, and overall productive exercise. You will manage to develop your creative and technical skills, increasing your awareness in terms of finding gaps and shortcuts into your process, adjusting it and pushing it forward along the way. You'll also have more content ready, more things to push out into the world, to test out and receive feedback, and always share your work. If you produce better work through more intensive practice, and you do it in such a way that uses less planning and thought and more in the moment flow, you could become a productivity magician. You'll then have time left over to further develop yourself and your future plans, and to do other things like slowing down, stopping and smelling the roses. This is why we marvel at the amazing feats of resilience, productivity, and hard work associated with people who acted with urgency. And this is why I think we will need to embrace speed as a required skill in the future of the workforce. And if we can incorporate speed in our daily workflow and stop viewing it as a sign of impatience and laziness, but as a gateway to greatness.